Why, hi there, it's Uncle Ron on a Monday afternoon, the 13th of November at 4:32 Eastern Time, and wanted to talk a bit about Strat-o-Matic's new offering, which is Baseball Max, and I was sorry to see that it wasn't named after Max Scherzer, and the color scheme isn't for either or both of his eyes. In all seriousness, um, Dave Gardner, I think, is also going to talk about this live when he watches some stuff and and give you some more give and take between him and those of you who watch this stuff live. Their first impression is this is not designed for hardcore users of Strat-o-Matic. It is fully to get new people into the program. Eventually, I see this as being a replacement for the 365 series of games if they can implement football. The key to this whole thing, I think, is to see what kind of response they're going to get. I mean, let's go through the basics. It will be a subscription service, just like Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu and all those. And for your one price of $20 a month, eventually there'll be an intro price of $14.99 a month. You get access to every baseball season ever, from 1871 right to 2023, with a game that is based mostly on the Strat-o-Matic engine. And you can play full seasons controlling one team. You can quick sim seasons. You can draft teams and do draft leagues with your buddies or against the AI, or I guess a combination of both. What it is not, at least initially, is a way to play full-blown Strat-o-Matic on the web. You still need the PC game for that. You can play advanced, super advanced, mix and match, whatever rule sets that you want, as long as it's not basic. And have the authorizations for the seasons being about $30 a piece. And the base game, if you do the card image like you should for any time you buy a Strat PC game, being $70. So having said that, this is really a couple of things that I see being with this. You can start a game on your PC, you can go home and play on your tablet, or you can play on your phone while you wait. And you get kind of the Strat-o-Matic experience. It would be like if Strat-o-Matic and Action PC got married and had a child, because you'll have options like you do when you play Action PC. Not sure what you're going to get for graphics, within the game. I don't think we're looking at pro strategy football type stuff here for that. I don't believe in the screenshots that I've seen. I've signed up for the beta, haven't heard back. Not sure when we'll hear back. Didn't get a confirmation email that I successfully sent anything to them, but we'll see. That you can mod anything with it. It's pretty basic like that, but I'm not sure if it's going to show you pitch by pitch. Certainly, you get pitch count. As far as if you're familiar with how the game works, if you're playing super advanced with pitch count, I think that's what's going to force you to play. There are no dice rolls on the screen. You can click on the batter to see their cards, but their cards are not going to pop up on the screen. This is not Strat-o-Matic in the sense that you pull out the cards and play. It's more like Apple Baseball for Windows when it comes to that. The cards are behind the scene. In Action PC, the data is all behind the scene. In OOTP, out of the park, it's all behind the scene. I had delivery at the door and I forgot where I was going. So all of that stuff will be under the hood, behind the scenes. You can click on the cards. You can see what the cards look like, which is the same as if you're playing the 365 thing. You select the cards. It plays the game based on the cards. I'm assuming that it would be technically super advanced with pitch counts for the fatigue rule. So that's only a PC only option for now. There's no pitch count if you're playing the cards and dice game. And so, who is this really designed for? It is probably not designed if you are a cards and dice only person. And there is no indication from Strat-o-Matic or the person that they interviewed that they ever plan on dropping the cards and dice printed that a lot of you play. I would not worry about that. If you got the cards and dice, you can play forever. There's going to be a 23 card set. Steve Barkin said this week on the unofficial official Strat-o-Matic forum that there will also be a retro season for that. They've been experimenting with a number of good things recently, such as the Strat Black. Again, much more of a collector's item, but they sold out. The All-Star sets in red and blue, again, not something up my cup of tea, but they sold out. There's a market there for that. The market, I believe, for this, again, people who really don't have the room to play Strat-o-Matic that might want to play Strat-o-Matic, people who own Macintoshes that can't run the PC software, people who are looking for something to do on their phones. This product, for me, appears to be, let's get new people in. And we have these other products if you would like a deeper experience. If you like the draft leagues, well, here's 365. You can do those and had the computer play all the games. It's original fantasy, and if that's what you like, more power to you. If you want to learn the card and dice game, we have the cards and dice for you to get, and I'm assuming that they will try to keep more seasons in stock, maybe even reprint some of the more modern seasons that they run out, because I think that's who the primary focus of the computer game is going to be, is to get more of the people who play more modern seasons. I'm talking anything after like the strike there. And so that's who I think this is marketed to. Get your feet wet, see if you like it. Like, oh, there's cards here? What do all these symbols mean? I think if there's enough pushback from the community, and if it's doable, that you will see maybe eventually dice rolls, cards pop up on the screen, and so you can see what the results are, so where they come from, because that's one of the reasons why a lot of people continue to play Strat, APA, and other card and dice-based games. They want to see where the result comes from. That could be an option in the future. I'm assuming that this is just kind of, let's see what this is. Let's see how many people want to do it. Let's see how much money we get to keep developing it. And let's keep pushing it out. You can now play, once this rolls out, Strat-o-Matic or a cards and dice-based simulation on your phone. I'm assuming there's going to be an app that you download, and hopefully it won't be just a web browser, although for those of us who primarily use PCs, that's probably what's going to be. So if there's an app for that, then yes, you can play it on your phone. It'll all be synced. We talked about this on the show the other day, that this is what should have happened years ago. You get bored, you get 10 minutes, you play on your phone, it all syncs up. I think eventually, will they pursue syncing the seasons that you already have the computer PC codes for? Will this eventually be what you would get if you bought the PC software? Can they program this more modern interface to play? I'm assuming the stat package is pretty close to what it should be. Will they roll this out in another sport? Anyone who rolls out something like this in football is going to win the competition, because people want to play that, and being able to play on PC, tablet, and your phone a football game, which takes longer to play, yeah. And Strat already has Football 365, and so some of this stuff I think is already there. Now, would that mean they would invest in basketball and hockey? I'd hope so at some point. If they get all four out there. But again, let's make it clear. For now, this is what we were calling Strat Lite. It shows you how Strat-o-Matic would work, along with the years and years and years that they have into it. It is a separate game on its own that's probably primarily based on either the 365 engine or the Strat Super Advanced pitch count engine, which I think are pretty much the same thing. And so I think it's a good step forward. It's an exciting step forward. It does not replace Strat-o-Matic, what you have, what you own, what you might want to buy in the future. I don't think that this is going to be a competing project. Either you will subscribe or you won't. Hopefully they'll give you, a free taste of after the beta is released to become a paying thing, that they would give you a free weekend or something like that to see if you like it or not. The advantages are every year is there. Only OOTP really does that, but OOTP is a lot cheaper. But it's there. So my concerns are expectations. My concerns are price point. Will there be, let's say, intermediate? You can pick a decade for $4.95 a month. For $200 a year, which I think is going to be their max price, or $199.95. You get everything, but that's a lot of money. Now, I'm assuming that would be, you could have unlimited draft leagues or what have you. I could see where people would do that. But if you're content and happy with what you have now, then there really isn't any reason to do that. So I think overall, again, all positive. I really don't think there's a negative here. I think it's an expansion. You want new people to play. We've asked for people, new ways to play. Just don't think of it right now as necessarily Strat-o-Matic. It's a Strat product, just like the 365s are Strat products. They're based all on the same cards and dice engine that the 365 games are, but it's not necessarily something that you could fully interact with. This you will be able to. Oh, and by the way, if you do multiplayer, you can video conference your league's games. I think this is going to be great for draft leagues, face-to-face leagues. There'll be new ones that start out. For $14.95 a month, that's a pizza. You get into a league, you play all your games. You can, lots of flexibility with that. I think that's primarily where they're going. And if it goes well, then we'll see it in other sports. And I think that they would own the market for that. So think Action PC and OOTP in pretty much any form that you like, because it's an app-based thing. So even Linux, if you so choose. Don't think of this as a replacement for Strat. And do not think that Strat is about to drop what's made them so successful over the last 60 years. They will continue for the foreseeable future to continue to produce games the way that they always have. And if it does fold into this all-in-one app, I would expect to see development to make sure that you can play whatever way you want. But getting new people in is a good thing, and I think that's where this is headed. And if it's too much financially, then they'll figure it out too. So when we come up in the beta, hopefully we'll be allowed to show it off to you and see how much of it we like and how much of it we don't like. Think of it as Strat Lite, and again, think of it as offering new people a gateway into the world of hardcore sports sims and replays. All right, so those are my initial thoughts. I'm sure Dave Gardner will have some good thoughts. Leave comments here. Leave them with him when he talks live. Until then, I'm Ron Zucker. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you the next time. Have a good day, everybody.